Welcome everyone to A Cup of Joe in the Morning. Today we're going to be talking about another failed business idea. I don't know if this one specifically failed, but it was a one that didn't end up happening. This is primarily a creative business that I did with one of my good friends. That I'll get into that later. If you are like video, if you're in the creative realm, if you like those type of things, you probably want to stick around because that is kind of what this is all about. Video production company. We'll have more details following, but we'll record it, give you the information on what it is, what happened, why it failed, and what we learned from it. This one was an interesting one. This one happened about 4 years ago, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, please stick around to the end. Also, follow this podcast on anywhere you would like to listen to podcasts, and visit me on my Instagram, Josiah Tombley. With that being said, here we're going to get a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll jump into it. Hey guys, today I want to have a shout out to Anchor, our sponsor of today's podcast. It's the easiest way to make podcasts out there. It's free. There's certain tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast in your phone or computer. I actually made this one completely on my phone. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listeners. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's an awesome product, guys. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. In this portion, we are going to talk about a failed or maybe not failed business called Avante Visuals that I started with one of my really good friends, Toby Pryor. Toby, say hello to the fans.
Hello, fans.
Yeah, they all appreciate you. They're fans of you, by the way.
Thanks for having me on, Josiah.
I'm just going to say.
Long-time listener.
Good. Long time? How many episodes do you listen to?
All of them.
How many do you think there is, roughly?
One.
There's more than one, but awesome. There is one in this new series, but so Toby, first what we'll do is we'll talk about what is Avante Visuals, or what was Avante Visuals.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So Avante Visuals was the name that me and Josiah gave to our video production company when we were a little younger, and it was our first time working together, and my first time ever putting a label on what I like to do and what I potentially wanted to do as a living. And so it was kind of like we were both starting out in video, and I guess it was the name we called our first little production company.
Yeah, I remember like our first early conversations, we like looked into it, and the whole concept we wanted to, primarily in the beginning, what Avante Visuals started out was we just wanted to do travel videography. Like we had an idea. Well, the beginning conversation was we had an idea that we wanted to take a trip and just create videos for the whole trip. And we wanted to go somewhere crazy. I remember I recommended somewhere, and then immediately like, no, dude. And then you like pulled up Zion National Park, and you're like, we got to go here. And I looked at the photos, and I was like, wow, yeah, you're right, we do. So then a couple months passed, I believe, or a month into kind of our planning. And I was like, dude, why don't we just do this trip for free or get paid? And then from there, we're like, well, how will we make money? Make videos of people's stuff. And that's kind of where it segued into. We started this idea of creating a brand, a production company based off of that.
Yeah, because it's like the dream. You're right out of high school, and it's kind of like the trendy thing now. Is go travel, go see the world, and you see people on YouTube doing it. You see like Tim Kellner and Sam Colder. They're all traveling and making videos and getting paid for it. And you're like, man, I have a camera. I want to do that. and so you're right out of high school, and you like want to live the dream almost, right? And like and just kind of cruise, and it sounds great, you know. It sounds great on paper. You just get paid to go places, get paid by the hotels that you stay at, so you don't have to pay, and all expenses are paid for. So ideal, you know, like on paper it sounds great. Sounds awesome. It's just it definitely takes a lot of work to make that a reality. There's a lot of like ins and outs to that as well, you know. There's a lot of things people don't see, don't realize in that business of like travel filmmaking.
For sure. How old do you think you were? Were you 18 or 19?
Let's see.
I think I was 19, about to turn 20.
Okay, then I was 18, turning 19.
So yeah, man.
It feels so much longer ago. You know?
Well, I mean,
now,
we have also been. These are also the most like dramatic, changing periods of our lives. You know.
You're right. Yeah. Also, I think it's like, when you get into filmmaking as a profession, you suck at first, and you don't realize that you suck yet, and
Totally.
and then as you grow, I think you learn so much, like, really quickly, and when you actually put your mind to it, you know, because like there's all these free tutorials on YouTube and the internet, and so you hit this like huge jump of like learning, and I think that kind of makes it seem like it was like even further ago than it actually was, because, you know, like we were so new to it all.
Yeah.
And when you look back, you're like, no way I was this bad only like 3 or 4 years ago. No, like, but when you first enter, there's this really big like learning curve that you hit, that's like that you just soak up all this knowledge. So I think that's what makes it even seem like even further ago, because we just really didn't know what we were doing.
For sure. And I think at this time, like, I was just dipping my toe and taking videography seriously. Like, could I do video? Could that be something I actually do with my life? I mean, before this, I was before that, Avante Visuals, which was a very actually influential thing that has shaped the beginning of my career and of where I wanted to go. So, like, out of a lot of the business ideas I've had, it was one of the most influential. I was working at a coffee shop, and I think I was teaching gymnastics at the same time. So I was like working 2 jobs, working like crazy hours, and I was 19 at the time. I just moved out of the house. I think it was a year since I moved out, maybe a little bit longer, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. And so as soon as, you know, we started becoming friends, and we were on the same friend group, I started getting inspired and realizing this is something I could do. And then with that excitement, and with all the excitement of learning, like, I know I was throwing myself into learning how to do all this stuff, I was like, well, let's take it to the next step, you know? And, you know, totally. I don't even think at the time I thought I was anything special, but I knew you were farther along than me, which has been the kind of the common case with us. But I
think, I don't know, man, you were grinding at that time, right? You were working, like you said, 2 jobs and trying to start this thing with me. And it was kind of like the opposite with me. I was cruising, right? I made videos. I was falling in love with like creating stuff and posting on my YouTube channel, and like making videos that I just like making. I didn't make them like with any purpose or like brand behind them. I didn't try to like turn it into a career at this point. I think like the first time it got real to me is when you actually brought it up, and I hated it. I hated like making things for money almost. I hated the business side of everything. It was like against all what I felt was right. Like, I didn't want to make this brand's video, which we can get into a little later, but I was like very opposite. My work ethic was trash. I didn't have a drive to like make a career. I think it was like, still, even if you would have asked me at the time if I wanted to make it a career, I'd say yes, but
don't get into spoilers. Don't get into spoilers now.
It was still a hobby for me. I was still in the beginner stage of where it's like fresh and new, and like all I see is like all I want to make is what I want to make, and
Yeah.
like I didn't see anything like other than just like goofy videos with my friends or something like that. So
Yeah. I would also like preference that, like, even at that time, like, even though it was just a year difference in age, like I had like my 18th year was where I was just cruising, and so even that 19th year is when I started getting more like, I want to do something. And I think the same case was for you. Looking at it back now, like that 18 year was the cruise year, So
yeah,
it's good to keep that mind in that in your mind.
Sure.
But that kind of brings us to like our next stage, which we both have a lot to say on this topic. But what happened? What did we do? Like what did we do after creating the company? After creating this Avante Visuals, what did we do with that?
Yeah, so I remember we were driving in the car. We were driving somewhere, and we were just like, we should put a name on this. Like we should like make something. I think that's what you said. You're like, we should. So we just like, all right, sure. Like
you were just going along with whatever I was saying, man.
Literally just being like, sure, Josiah, like let's put a name on it. So we like Googled a bunch of names. We came up with Avante because we went on like Google Translate, tried to be artsy, like found out like a word for, I forget what language.
I think it was adventure.
Adventure, yeah, something to fit like the travel video. I thought it was something with like scene.
Oh,
I don't know.
like was it?
I honestly don't know. We found a language. We were like, Avante. That's pretty cool. It's like Avanti. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but
yeah.
But we were like, okay, Avante Visuals. That's got a great ring to it, and I still think it does have a pretty good ring to it. But
okay, Avanti or Avante in Italy or Italian is to look ahead or moving forward. That seems like what we were going after.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, we have a name to it. Great. And to me, I was like, sure, we just put a name on it, whatever. Like, I did not take it seriously of, again, where I was in my life, and definitely didn't see a video as a priority at the time, because I was still living with my parents. That's another thing I want to bring up. You were like on your own at this point, right? You were living by yourself. You're out of your parents.
Yeah, I was out of my parents. I mean, I didn't even live in the same city. I moved to a different city.
That has a huge impact on where we were at each other's lives, because I was still living with my folks. And so I feel like when you do move out, you have that drive to like make something happen and like get out of the hobby stage of things and like make stuff.
Yeah.
That you
well, it's all up to you.
Right.
It's all on you.
Yeah. So anyways, so we got the name for it, and then you started sending emails out to people, and
yeah, dude,
started reaching out. And I remember you just like coming and being like, hey, I got this group, I got this business, I got like this business in Australia, like, and I was like, wow, cool. Like I was like pretty stoked at the time. I was like, this is awesome, like this could actually happen. And so yeah, and then we finally got a good amount of clients together at dirt cheap prices.
I have the pricing right here, dude.
All right, yeah, I want to hear, like, name them out.
So to kind of like frame this, I want to backtrack a little bit before I dive into the pricing. But like, my goal was first to like reach out to anyone local I could, and I just to even take a step back, I knew this was not Toby's passion per se, that he didn't want to make money. So I was just like, dude, let's just cut our cost. Like, let's just, and you're like kind of more on board with that, mainly because you probably didn't have any money. So, so you're like, totally, I want to do something for free. So that's how I kind of was able to convince you to want to do that. And then from there, you're right. I just created an email, which I have kind of the rough draft of here. But saying, hey, we want to take your product to Zion National Park. I literally told them where we were going. We can make videos in between 15 to 2 minutes, bringing greater value to your product by creating a story that goes out in the world and you actually see it, while also helping your social media and your marketing.
Yeah, I remember that was solid. I thought that was great. It's like, bring your local product outside of like, and bring it to like the world, It was something like your small local thing and take it to like, the prettiest place on earth, that was the pitch. And it was like, it was solid. Like I would buy that. I
Yeah.
also remember, I totally forgot about this. We made a spec project by ourselves that we could send to people. We made
Yeah.
a camping video. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I think
It
that was
was
what.
super simple, but it like worked really well.
Yeah. It was nice, clean. It was, I mean, looking back, it was like not good, but for
Honestly, I think it was one of our better things at that time, even
yeah,
after.
exactly. Well, I don't know what now, but
No,
definitely
I mean,
for
what we
people,
made from what we made on the project, I think it was the better.
yeah, it was pretty decent, which is sad that the spec project turned out better than
I
the other
agree.
project.
I agree.
But also I think that we can tie into that later of why the project didn't turn out that great. But yeah, that was the start of Avante Visuals, was sending emails. It was pretty cool. I mean, you definitely put in most of the work finding all the clients, and
Well, it was more of the production stuff for sure.
yeah, and I was just like, all right, sure, I'll point the camera and shoot. Like, let's do it.
But the reason why we were able to bring all this together was the pricing, which I will tell you. We told everyone that it was 50% off because it was our first project. And then, so here's what we got. We got for 4 videos, for 4 15-second videos and 5 photos, it's $200.
Oh my God.
For a 1-minute video and 5 photos, it's $150.
Unreal.
For one 30-second video, it's $100, and for 2 15-second videos and 5 photos, $125.
Wow.
$5 for each additional photo.
And like, again, it's like, that's just raw, like freaking.
Of course, you would say yes to that, dude. That is like the most insane thing. That's
just
that
like,
price is
like
crazy.
It should be illegal, right? It's just like
yeah, 100%.
But like, again, like, I guess for us only having that spec project under our belts and maybe a couple of YouTube videos that I made that didn't really match the vibe at all, that's not bad. Like, most people would be making this stuff for free at that point. So to get any kind of money, I think, like, to go to these clients and be like, listen, I don't know, like, if I was a business and I had like a couple kids knock on my door and be like, look, we made this video with our T3i, pay us and we'll promote your business, I probably wouldn't pay more than that anyways. So good.
Well, I mean, that was the case. We wanted to do a lot of local people, but I had to reach out to people across the water and say, hey, trust us with your product. We'll make something out of it, something that's local in this area. And I think that's what really got a couple of them to do it. I actually have a list of all the people right here. Should I name them out, or do you think it's bad?
I mean, I don't care. I don't know if it's important, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, we have like Ocean Sea on here, which we ended up actually making a video, and they ended up being on board with us.
Yeah, Ocean Sea is great. So awesome. Sean's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, for sure. I definitely highly recommend it. Anyone in the KC area. Like, we made videos for them that we were proud of, but at the time, but go buy their stuff. I still have their merch that they gave us. It was awesome. I'm super proud of that working with them. Mid Coast Modern, I don't think we ever worked with them. West Side Story, never worked with them. Ray Gun, we didn't work with them either. A few other guys I don't even remember at all. Sandlot Goods, Messenger Coffee. I don't think we did anything with Messenger Coffee at all.
I just remember Ocean Sea being the big one. He was like,
he was the one who was gonna pay us. He was like down to help.
Yeah, he was paying the most for like the least amount of videos. I think it was like 3 videos we promised him, and some photos, and he gave us a ton of clothes to promote, and so we were super hyped on that. So
yeah,
I think that when we got that one, I think we were like, oh, our chip's almost paid for. Nice.
Yeah.
And so that was huge, and it was also really cool because earlier that year I reached out to him, and that's how I had the connection in the first place. Was I did a little video for him, and and it was like, like one of my first gigs ever, and I shot it, and I lost the SD card during the shoot.
Nice.
And it's like at the end of the shoot, and I was like, okay, so like this 3 hours I just spent shooting for you on your event, I don't have it anymore. And so I'm surprised he even trusted me again to to do
I mean,
this.
yeah, we did provide him with that product, and he only did the $200 packet.
Okay,
So he
gotcha.
did 4 15-second videos.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, it wasn't anything astronomical for him. And we did promote his product while we were using it. So, even though both of us didn't have a huge social media following, that was something. I'm pretty sure I leveraged that a few times.
Yeah, I think one of those videos actually got it got shared on like the KC Creatives site. Has like a great following. It's got like you know, I forget, like 25-30K or something like that. So it was a pretty good following for him.
For sure.
Good promotion that it got shared on that. So
yeah,
that was
so
nice.
it was cool. Then the other 2 or 3, one was a company in Asia. I can't remember their names, but they gave us this like camel pack and some other camping, like hiking gear. And then another one, which was our big one, was Scrubba. And it was a travel wash bag that would you wash your clothes. These guys were from Australia. This is a pretty decent sized company already as is. And they have their clothes, their stuff in REI, stuff like a few other like camping stores and stuff. So they were pretty decent. And they definitely paid the most from what I remember.
Okay, nice.
I think they did like a 1-minute video, and then they did probably 2 15-second videos. I think they both wanted those to be drone shots. So we got about like I say 275, maybe a little bit more out of them, maybe 300, and then we got about 200 out of Ocean and Sea, and then the company from Asia, I think we got about 250 out of them. So I think that covered most of our costs, and then we had some other brands that we did free stuff for as well. But that's what we did. That's what we did. We took all their product, packed up our car, and drove out there.
Yep. It was exciting.
It was. It was extremely exciting.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we want to segue into how it failed or talk. Would that connect good with how the actual project went?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay. So the next question is how it failed, man. How did we fail?
Well, I think first of all, it was perspective on the entire trip. Again, we were like some kids, and we wanted to have a fun time traveling to
100%.
That's where our focus was. We wanted to go on a road trip. We brought one of our other friends, Callan, who wasn't in video. So we were really just 3 dudes road tripping. And that's where the main focus was, which was problem number 1 when you're making client videos. You shouldn't be doing it. Main focus, if you've got clients, like relying on you to create a good product, and they're paying you to basically go on this trip, your main focus should be the videos, and it wasn't. And so that was the problem number 1, because we were having a good time over making a good video. And so I think on the Scrubba videos, like those drone shots, I remember, like, if our focus was to get a good video, we would have prioritized that over like hiking a giant mountain and not bringing our drone or something. I remember shooting those drone shots at like a not very scenic location after the trip was over. Like as we were heading back, we like stopped and like found this like hill or this hiking trail that wasn't that pretty compared to Zion National Park, and we shot those there. And I was thinking back, I'm like, man, why didn't we take the drone and the product up to like Angel's Landing or something like that? Like
we did, but the actual
we didn't take the drone, did we?
Oh, we didn't take the drone. No, you're right there. But that was because we were afraid to fly the drone in the national park because we think it was illegal.
That's silly.
Also, you crashed the drone earlier, so.
Oh shoot!
So you didn't want to fly the drone anymore, so I flew it.
We had like 0 drone experience.
Yes, I think that was our biggest holdup when it came to the drone.
I forgot I crashed the drone. Yeah. So yeah, I think perspective. We weren't really focused on making the videos. It was more like this. It was more like we're going on a trip and we're just gonna shoot and film a bunch of footage, like almost vlog style. Almost like get some B-roll of stuff. But we weren't completely focused on like composition and like finding the best areas.
Well, I would say we also didn't even know how to make a product video. Like we knew how to make videos and we knew how to shoot B-roll and then make some type of story. But we didn't know how to highlight a product.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience to say the least. So when we got back and we like started editing, I remember it's like, I don't know, like it just didn't turn out incredible. It was just average. It was like, here's this person wearing a shirt, and there's a mountain behind them, kind of that kind of footage.
Yeah.
More so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, they got what they paid for. I think, really, honestly, for the cost that they spent, most of
no
them,
doubt.
they received what they paid for. I just remember, yeah, I think you're totally right with perspective. I remember cranking out all of the videos in a place that wasn't appealing and doing stuff that wasn't really appealing with it, but we were there, so we just had to do it, and that's when we remembered. I mean, our perspective was just completely off on the business side. We didn't even spec out like how a video should work beforehand or do any pre-production. As far as we did some, like we were like, oh, we'll just have us running around and hiking, and that's basically what we said was pre-production. So
Yeah.
we didn't have any of that really. I know that the Scrubba guys, they sent us with some ideas of what they wanted, so that was easier to make theirs. And I honestly think some of theirs were, I think Scrubba's and Ocean Seas were the best. Scrubba's was pretty mediocre, but it still was pretty good. And then Ocean and Sea, I think, was pretty good as well. I think it had much more to it. But I mean, that was something we definitely had no clue what we were doing. And I mean, I look back on it, I wouldn't have known any better. Like, it's not like I was taking advantage of a situation. I just literally did not know how it functioned or how it would work.
Yeah. And I remember like, oh gosh, I don't even remember how long we stayed there. It was like a couple days into the trip though. And I was like we were like on our way up, like we took one of the buses that they they sent up the mountain in the national park, and I was like waiting for the bus or something, and you guys were, while I was just sitting there on the grass, and I was like, dang, this sucks. Like, I hate having to like make like 10 videos or whatever. It's like so stressful. And again, it was because my perspective was I want to have a good time with my friends, but then like this like nail in my side or whatever, like this stress that I'm like having to make these videos for these people, which was like ruining it. But if my perspective was switched and I was like, I need to knock these videos out and I'm here for the videos, it would have been completely different. I wouldn't have this thing like nagging me at the side. And it would be like, I don't know, just change of why I'm there in the first place.
Well, we didn't even like walk in, like, even if we had I think we could have even created a better product if we were like, these 3 days we're going to film and the next 2 we'll just be able to hang out. We did not do that at all. It was just like, hopefully we can get something while we're out there.
Yeah. And again, it was like, we were way over our heads in the sense of like how many videos we thought we were going to shoot. We were just worried about getting it paid for. And so we're like, yeah, we'll take on 30 videos, no problem. That's like our mentality. But then when you have like all this checklists of videos you need to make, and get really overwhelming. Like, ideally, when you think about like traveling and making videos, it's like you want to make one video. You want one company to be like, yeah, make a video for us. And it's like, oh great, I'll go and make one video. But when you have like 6 or 7 videos, like all these moving parts of like, oh shoot, we forgot to shoot this one. Oh, what are we gonna do for this? Like, we only have the whole like 1 day left. Like, it's so overwhelming and stressful to do like multiple like companies, multiple clothes. Like, I remember like we were wearing like Ocean and Sea outfits like for the majority of the trip, and then we totally forgot to wear like this other company's clothing. And we're like, oh shoot, like we haven't any footage of this. And so that was definitely a learning experience of like, don't overwhelm yourself with different brands and companies. It should just be like, you should just lock down ideally just one company that trusts you and is down for what you make. And that would have helped in the future.
But I mean, we ultimately got the product to them. Honestly, the amount of work we did wasn't as much as I expected, mainly because I don't think we put such little actual effort into all of it. But I mean, like if we actually like go back and I think about like work we actually did, I feel like I was more stressed out and other like the idea of doing it, and then also like more stressed out about can we finish this and get to do it. Like I don't remember being like, wow, I just spent 40 hours on these 3 videos or something like that.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, we learned a lot. We made it back. I remember cutting the trip short because it was pretty just intense all around. It was very intense. We did not even give ourselves luxuries of any kind on that trip.
Yeah.
So, but no, ultimately it was really good. And I would love to kind of segue into the next little project we did. But maybe there's Avante Visuals Part 2. What do you think about that?
Sure. I mean, well, I don't know. It's pretty. I don't know. Like,
Is it
I
cut
guess
and dry? Would you say?
no. I feel like this could segue pretty easily. Like from that trip, I was pretty burnt out. Like I remember during the trip, I was burnt out.
Yeah.
I was like, I was questioning if I even wanted to do videos anymore. I was like, I don't really want to make videos for other people. Like I want to make my own videos. Like that's where my head was at during that trip. And I was like, dang, this sucks. I don't want to do Avante Visuals. Like this is a mistake. Like I don't want to like make other people's visions like a reality. I just want to like, I want to make my stuff. I want to do like, I want to have fun. I want to film it. I want to like put whatever I want to do on the edit. You know? I don't want to have this checklist I have to finish. And so when we got back, it was like that kind of stuck with me. I was like, I'm done. Like in my head, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I was like really fed up with the whole video thing.
Which he did not make clear to me, but
I didn't communicate with you at all. This was a pretty terrible part of my life of where just unmotivated, uninspired. It was just it was not a good time to get into a co-partnership with me at all. So sorry for this.
No reason to apologize. So then we moved into one other project where we worked with a local business and we created kind of a highlight reel. And that project did not go very well either. I mean, I could definitely tell from inside of that project that you weren't really about it. We got it done. We finished it. In the same way, we did a crazy pricing anyway for that as well. Dirt cheap, like stealing from us basically for our time. We finished that project. And at that point, I think we just decided it was good to kind of, go our separate ways. I think I was also moving, and we decided, you know what, we'll just like not pursue it anymore. I think I had a conversation with you. I don't remember it distinctly, but I remember just being like, "Hey, man, yeah, like I might try to get someone on board for another project later on." But I think we had our fun and we did our thing. So, which it was never no bad blood. Neither one of us were mad at each other or upset, or at least I wasn't upset at you. But then from there we separated, and that was the end of that project.
Yeah, and I think looking back, like if the main point I could like.
Well, what did you learn now? So this is
like
what did you learn,
the
man?
main point I could like say to people who are like just beginning is like don't reach out to clients just for money. I feel like we shouldn't have done that in the first place. We rushed it like a ton. We weren't to the level to get paid for work at that point. What we should have focused on is making spec work. We should have gone out. We should have picked like a brand like Nike, and we were like, and pay for the trip, and make like a spec project of Nike or something, or an adventure, like North Face or something.
Or even like, I think you could have even technically done it with Ocean and Sea, like just brought them on board and just done like
get some free clothes,
and just done something exciting for them.
Yeah, but definitely make stuff that you want to make as spec work, and get a really good solid reel that you're happy with before you go off to clients and ask for money. We kind of did it the opposite. We were kind of asking for money first. We did have like a spec video, but it was nowhere near like what a business would need to trust like a videographer to with their money. And so yeah, if you're just starting in video, just like make spec projects, make commercials that you'd want to see, how you'd want to make them, and then once you get a solid enough reel with good diversity in them, that's when you can bring them to these businesses and send emails, and that's when you can start working with bigger companies instead of trying to get like 6 or 7 to pay the bill, you know?
Yeah, totally. And also make dumb decisions, dude. Learn from them. You know, we'll sit here all day and tell you what you can do and you cannot not do, and kind of. And I think that's something I learned. Like, you know, if I didn't make those decisions for me personally, if I didn't go through that, I don't think I would have been motivated to make some moves that I did. And this, I don't know if the trip itself had to be such an influential part, but that beginning stage of the process of being excited about something. I know it's like we're polar opposites right here, like in our views, and I think that's why it's so unique to get this perspective. But for me, it was like, I just need to do this. I need to throw myself in there and get something out of it. I think one of my biggest issues with the moment was I was trying to do 2 different dreams at the same time. I was like chasing this idea of videography, and then I was also chasing this idea of I want to make a business, you know? And so I was chasing both of those and not knowing anything about either one of them, like very little. And I wasn't able to execute it perfectly because I just didn't know what to do. But it still was an experience to learn from, and it was still an experience that I look back and I'm fond about. Like, I still had an amazing time. I still one of the most one out of the 2 or 3 moments of my life that were very impactful, and made some of my greatest friendships from those moments, you know.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of my best connections. So it's like, and I ended up doing another project later on, which I can talk about another time, with another one of those companies. So we did not do great work, you know, for sure, but we were able to create something out of nothing. Honestly, I think that's the best way of saying that. We created something out of nothing, which blows my mind to this day to think about, that we did that, that we were able to do that. But so yeah, it was totally a learning experience.
Definitely. Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you think was kind of significant about your learning process? I know you talked about a lot about your passion, about like kind of logistics of like if you were going to do it yourself, but like personally on a level of, you talked about this idea of your shifting of, oh, I never want to do this again, but now you're not there. So how did that influence that at all? Did it, or did it keep you in a rut, or did it put you in a dark enough place even to shift to, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so geez, it's hard to like go back into that timeline. I have a terrible memory. I don't think that motivated me to like, or sparked anything. I think it did push me away for a bit. I was still making like emotional edits and stuff like that. Like, I was still shooting stuff that I wanted to shoot every once in a while. I'd post like a YouTube video every couple of months or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember soon after that, I went to college because I missed playing soccer. So I stepped away from video at a time. And I think that's what sparked it a little bit more, is because I hated school so much and I hated the classroom setting more than I thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, I miss the video. And so after a semester of college, that's what really sparked it.
Do you think it put it in perspective that you could make money at all from video? Because that's what it did for me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like, wow, I can't. Even if it was crappy and if it wasn't great, even the possibility of it actually being able to work. Because I'd never made a video for money before. And the fact that it's that I'm even slightly capable of it, like, motivated me to do it.
Yeah. Again, like at the time, money was just not important to me. It was like, I was living up with my folks. I didn't have very many expenses at all. I was just like,
well, I mean, when you like came back around to it, like when you came back around to it, you're like, oh, I can make money from video. Do you think that influenced it at all? And maybe not even like in a, like like a real way that you understand, but like kind of. Do you think that connects at all or not to you for you?
Yeah, actually, okay. So looking back, I think it is. It is. It did confirm that I could not. Well, I already knew that I could make like money making videos, but it was like I've never like just seen the like cold emails being sent out and actually work, and so I think that was something that I grabbed from that. Like, yo, you can just send like a ton of emails out and just wait for someone to bite. Like, if you have a solid enough portfolio, if we did it with no portfolio and we got someone to bite in Australia,
Exactly. Yeah.
like you can definitely like with a solid portfolio, you can definitely grab some clients with enough emails sent out. So that's definitely something I've grabbed onto. Like, you just need to work to find those companies and send the right emails, worded the right way, and definitely continue to work on your portfolio to where it'll catch the eye of the client.
100%, dude. I would agree. Yeah, it's finding those things that, like, you know, what can I take away? And I think I take away more than I think too. Like, I think there's more things from that I like. I took that I actually still utilize, because I was actually looking how I structured this whole thing, and I've structured a lot of things in this like template, and I still do. I mean, it's perfected and way better, but it was still like, this is how my creative, like, I figured out how my mind works, my creative mind works. So it kind of opened up a world that I had not dabbled in at all. So it was that beginning of something, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, super cool. That's kind of the story of Avante Visuals and where it went, and what we kind of did with it. It was a ride, man. It was a ride.
A short-lived ride for sure.
It was. I just remember us like countless hours beforehand, just not even meeting about nothing almost, just because we didn't even know what to meet about. Like, what do we talk about?
We've just heard the word pre-production in a YouTube tutorial before, and so we're like, we need to pre-produce these, and we didn't really know what that meant, and so we'd just meet and be like, all right, we're gonna make these videos. Nice.
Yeah, but like it's like the beginning of just, who knows what you're gonna do. Just write it down. Just get something on paper. Just do something.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and do nothing. I definitely think there's a different way of doing that. Like, we should have probably looked at this trip in the first way we originally looked at it, was just like, let's just go and shoot as much as we can and have fun and make some cool videos we appreciate, and then use those for our spec reels. But still, like, it's that concept of, this is just something you got to do. You just got to write it down, get your ideas and your thoughts out there, perfect it, learn, and seek counsel. We never asked anyone else's opinion but our own. So seek counsel from others for sure. But yeah, it was a good experience.
For sure. Yeah, I'm glad we did it. It's cool.
Totally. Also, Callan was there, our other friend, and we have nothing to say about him. But he was there. I feel like at one point we did kind of have Callan in the business, but not really. But we just wanted him to be.
Yeah, we didn't really have anyone else in the film industry, so we're just like, oh, we'll bring on a music producer. Why not? Right?
Yeah, that was fun. He did make some music for it, didn't he? I can't remember.
Didn't use any of the Ocean and Sea videos. Oh, I think
I used it.
He did make some, but we didn't like them or something like that.
No, I thought I used one. I thought I used one song for one of the videos. Honestly, I don't even know where those videos are, the ones I made.
Yeah, same.
So, but it wasn't. I think that entire project wasn't about the specific videos we made. It was more about feeling the way we felt and doing the things that we did.
Yeah,
that really connected to me.
It was definitely an eye opener of like the business world for me and the video aspect, and I learned a lot about like what I do want to do, what I don't want to do.
Yeah,
and that'll constantly evolve like it has, and
for sure.
But definitely like learned that I don't want to make like clothing brand videos the rest of my life, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
or just like senseless videos.
Right. Yeah,
those were very, very senseless videos. There was no message or anything behind them.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you taking time to talk about this with me. Totally, man. We'll definitely have you on here another one. I think we have some other ideas coming down the pipeline that we'll probably end up talking about. Toby and I do currently work on stuff together. We do not absolutely hate each other from that trip. We've had some successful projects together, and hopefully many more in the future.
Amen. Am I getting paid for this podcast, by the way?
Yeah, man. Depending on how many viewers listen to it, but you'll get some money if you can convince a lot of people to listen to it.
All right, guys.
This is sponsored. Did you not know that?
No, I did. Yeah, you told me about it. Anchor. Thanks, Anchor.
Man. Thank Anchor, our sponsor for today.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, follow me on Instagram, Josiah Tombley. Send me any questions about our video production thing we did, or anything you want to know about the entire experience. Toby, can they follow you where?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at tpryor. I don't post, but I'm about to start posting a lot. So
that's what I'm talking about. You're also on YouTube as well as I am. Mine's the same. I think yours is the same too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it Toby Pryor?
It's Toby Pryor.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you, Toby. Appreciate you, man.
Of course. Goodbye, guys.
See ya. Hey guys, thanks for listening to that episode with one of my good friends, Toby Pryor. We have worked together on a bunch of projects, and we will continue to work on a bunch. We learned a lot from it. It was a mess. It was fun. It was exciting. I kind of have a little switch up on my schedule of how I want to post. So I want to start doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays we'll be back with our drop shipping part 2 with Jesse. And today was Vontae visuals, and I might have another person next Tuesday rather than Jesse, off and on, or might bring him in more. But we just want to hear what you guys think. What do you think about these podcasts? What do you think about what we're talking about? Let me know if you like it, if you want to hear more of it. If you did, give this a follow wherever platform you're on. Send it to some friends if they're thinking about starting a production company or anything like that, and they're young. Do stupid stuff, but learn from it. Take it and grow. That's what this is all about, growing and learning and figuring out how to do things better. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. And by video, I mean podcast. And I'm going to leave that in because that's what this is raw. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.